we are discussing finding courage in the face of fear, developing strong mental health is by training your brain. And we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about the fact that our brain is a muscle and it has to be just like you practice your times tables, you practice tying your shoes. We have to practice mindfully preparing ourselves for each and every component of our day, of our lives. And most times we're not mindful, right? We wake up the same way, we get the same cup of coffee, we drive the same way to work. But have you ever considered your day? Have you ever considered the subconscious behaviors that you do each and every day and how automatic we do them without thinking? And one of the things that I want you to think about is even taking notice of your posture, taking notice of your breathing, and taking notice of the environment, what's going on around you. What's your mental state like? You know, upon rising, do you rate your morning? Like, do you rate how you're feeling in the morning on a scale of 1 to 10? But we do have the capacity to train our brain. We do have the capacity to learn a new behavior. But nothing changes until we change our thoughts, our behaviors, and anything that's new is developed by repetition. Let's find out how we can come into a greater awareness of what we're experiencing and how we can keep ourselves come out of our head and into our body, right? Anxiety comes from staying in your head. Anxiety comes from overthinking, second guessing. It comes from doubting yourself, right? It comes from not feeling that you can be your most authentic self. And anxiety also comes when we're not able to, our body starts changing, we're getting into more menopause, certain foods we can't eat anymore. So these are the things that happen to us. And it has a profound impact on the way we live on our day to day. And with the body flow methods, what I teach my clients is that with there are three main steps to developing that new narrative. One of the steps is awareness. We're in the awareness stage. We are looking at what is it that's holding you back? What are your limiting beliefs? You know, what exactly is it that makes you come alive? Right? What is the story that you've been telling yourself and that you are uh um that you hold on to because it's something that someone told you of authority? Yeah, your mama said, grandmama said, big mama and them said, this is how you have to do things. And I know this also well because I've had two marriages, I had two divorces, and one of the main issues that I brought into both of my marriages was the fact that it had to look a certain way, right? Marriage had to look like this. If he don't do XYZ, then he's not a good husband. And I took those belief systems with me into the marriage and I held on to them so tightly, being rigid, being controlling, that it caused a rift in between him and I. I was holding on to what my daddy said, because I'm looking at my daddy as, oh, this, but if my daddy say this is gold, this is everything. But not realizing that, you know, our parents came from a different, I'll go the other way. Our parents came from a different line of different set of systems, right? My parents, they from the 40s. They came from the South. They migrated up to the North, and they brought with them all of the Jim Crow laws, all of those Jim Crow ideologies that were impressed upon them, segregation and things like that. They brought that here with them. And because of that, they were ruled by fear. So we, as Gen Xers, we had to like literally fight through. That's why we were called the sandwich generation, that we are latchkey kids, because we literally had to like figure things out on our own because our parents did not know how to help us. Our parents did not know how to, because they barely made it through high school. Some did college, but many did not, because they were not given that option. And if they did, it was like they had to fight against they had to fight against the system of people telling them, you don't need to go to college. You don't need, just take this desk job and be quiet, right? Just take this particular job, take what you can get and be quiet, right? So um we had to fight through it. And um many of us had to, because we had to figure things out on our own. Many of us are now getting of age, in our 50s and above, and we are struggling because now in menopause, our body we're easily triggered, right? um we have these autoimmune conditions that are attacking our body. And the mind, and there's a saying, as the mind is the most difficult thing to change. Your mind does not want to change. No. To learn something new means to say that, we have such a strong identity to what we were taught, that abandoning those ideas and those thoughts and lessons, and doing our own thing, means that we are disrespecting our past. We're disrespecting our parents. It's a form of disrespect. And in order to shift into a place of being feeling limitless, feeling and being free to pursue the joys that we want to pursue, we have to develop a sense of awareness. We have to understand what our triggers are. We must know that, you know, um, what is it that we like to do? What is it that you don't want to do? Right? I was going to a therapist, and the therapist, when I was starting to do business and things like that, and that's a whole different conversation that I'll get into at another time. Um, the first thing she said to me was, you are going to have to write down the things that you like, the things that you don't like. If you're pursuing business, you're going to have to write down, what are some things that you don't want to do? What are the things that you want to do? And would you not know, that was the hardest thing to do, because I was under the impression and the mindset that I had to know everything. I had to learn everything. And not knowing is a sign of being what's the word? Being it Lord have his mercy. When you don't know everything, that you are, come on, efficient, you are, and that's not the word that I'm thinking, that is not the word, but you get what I'm saying, right? That you're incompetent. Thank you. Right? So that you are incompetent. If you are not aware of if you don't know what you're doing, if you can't do XYZ, right? You're incompetent. That was the message. That is the belief system. And so everything we do is proving ourselves. We're to prove our worth. We have to prove that we're worthy. We have to prove that we deserve, right? And that is a lie. That's a lie. That is a myth. You don't have to prove your worth. You're worthy when you wake up. You're worthy if you do absolutely nothing. You're worthy. You're worthy. And it takes a really long time because you have to push past everything you think you. Now, most people like, oh, I don't feel like I have to feel like I know I'm worthy, but there is something in the back of your mind that tells you when it's time to move forward to coming out of your comfort zone. There's a part of you that's saying, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can charge that because I don't feel like I'm worthy. Anyhow, all right. So awareness is the first step. And when we heal our body, we have to come into a state of awareness of rating our mental health from 1 to 10, right? Rating your body. How do you feel in your body today? Do you have any aches and pains? Rating it from 1 to 10. Your spiritual health, rating your spiritual health from 1 to 10, right? Do you have a regular mindfulness practice? What is your self-care practice like? And getting out of your head and into your body. So these are the things that I teach my clients. We use the 4 horsemen trigger method to as a guide for what those triggers are. We develop our healing list. And from there, we create freedom goals, your own goals that you want to sustain, because you can't you can't do something different. You can't be something different doing the same thing. You just can't. You can't do it by yourself. You just can't. You're going to give up because your body has your subconscious, which is 90% of who you are, is ruling you. You don't think it is, it's ruling you until you until you retrain that subconscious mind to know something different, to feel something different, to understand something different. It's going to want to do the same thing. Because when you start teaching your brain, retraining your brain, reteaching your body, it's going to feel strange. You're going to feel out of place. You're going to want to go back to the regular you. And you need to have someone to guide you along the way to let you know, hey, this is normal. What you're feeling is normal. All right. And if you're interested in getting more information about the body flow method and using this unique self-care framework, absolutely connect, because supporting women in their journey to holistic wellness. But these things have to happen in order to get to a different state of mind, a different state of being. Right.